Edgar TV.
How do, guys, and welcome back to Edgar TV. And as you'll know, that if you've been watching these videos recently and scouring through, you'll know that I've been spending a lot of time checking through the rulebook and scanning through the rules of various different organisations. And actually, I've found that there's a rule that you'd really expect to see that's not quite there. And I've checked every single document going, and I found it once, but surprisingly not so prominent in the professional game. And these come down to the actual rules and the regulations within the board itself. So there's a couple of interesting points. First of all, it has to be made of a bristle, which is a sisal. We know that, that's fine. There has to be a wire. The wire has to be complete. So some of the photos I've shown you already when we've done these rule quizzes, that's fine as well. We've got that covered. The centre of the ball needs to be a certain distance from the floor. These are all fine. These are things we'd expect. But something you'd expect to see in there that's not in there is actually to do with the size of the board. Now, the rules state that obviously the officials have the say on it, and the governing bodies get the say on if the board's approved or not. They get the final approval. But actually what's really interesting is there is no guidelines, or there are no minimum or maximum requirements for the actual size of the board or the actual size of the segments. Now, I was interested about this actually because obviously being a previous football coach, obviously pictures can be a maximum size or a minimum size, and you can obviously change them to suit. There doesn't seem to be that with darts, which is really, really surprising. I really expected to see a treble must be a minimum this size or a maximum this size. So there's quotes like regulation board, but there's no guidance into what actually is a regulation size dartboard. And if you look through the rules, I've scanned them through, I've looked through them multiple times, I've sent it to other people, there is literally nothing that tells you what is the maximum size or what is the minimum size for a certain segment of the board. Which means, if you make this dartboard out of sisal with wire, it could actually be a legal board. Now, obviously, we've got the loophole of the regulatory bodies, and obviously the tournament director have to approve the board, and I don't think they're going to approve that. But I tell you what, I bet I could hit 100 average on that thing. Way!
Edgar TV.
And if you're enjoying your Edgar TV, guys, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, join the Edgar Nation, keep up to date with all the latest daily Edgar TV releases.